Apologies for that. As I was saying, today will be about forum and panel discussions. We will also explain, okay, we will also learn about how to explain our viewpoints and to reach a consensus. We will also learn about how to use appropriate language, style, and register. So that will be what today's lesson will be all about. But as we do always remember that before we start with the content of today's lesson, then we recap on what we did in the previous lesson. Let's recap just for a moment. So this is what we did yesterday. Oh, it was so much fun. If you are not part of yesterday's lesson, I'm telling you, you really missed out. So yesterday's lesson, we learned about how to debate. You know, we learned about how to debate. That when we debate, we argue over we we argue over a certain topic. We also learned about the roles involved and how to play them. You know, we've learned that there are two teams: the proposition team, which agrees with the topic, and the opposition team, which disagrees with the topic. We have also learned about how many speakers each team can have, you know, and how those speakers will take turns when they present their arguments. We also learned about how to explain your viewpoints and to reach your consensus. We did that yesterday. We also learned about how to use appropriate language, style, and register when you are presenting your arguments on a debate. It was very interesting yesterday. It was very wonderful. I really enjoyed it. You know, I think I can really say that was one of the best lessons ever. You know, it was very interactive. I really loved the way you think, my learners, the way you think, the way you present your arguments. You know, your arguments yesterday, the way you presented your viewpoints, you know, your interest in it is so it is quite a challenge to do listening and speaking on an online platform, but here we are doing it, and we really are doing our best to emulate the when we are doing our best to emulate that face-to-face classroom interaction when we do listening and speaking. Okay, so thank you everybody for joining us. You are welcome to today's lesson. I've already introduced it that it will be about the forum or a panel discussion. It is not a debate, you know, although there are few similarities, but it is not a debate, and it is not a debate, but it is quite similar with a debate, but it is quite interesting. There's not so much preparation to do with it because usually a forum or a panel discussion can really be like an impromptu, you know. You don't really have that much time to research your facts. You don't have that much time to look over things, okay? Anyway, let's get started so that we can have a forum or a panel discussion a bit later before the lesson ends. So that is the reason why I'm not sharing a topic with you right now, because with forum or panel discussions, a topic is dropped like a bombshell. Okay, we just drop it like that, like a bombshell. Then then we just take a few moments to think about it, and then we share our viewpoints about it. Okay, let me present the lesson about forum or panel discussions, how they work, who's involved, and everything like that. So remember, I said this even yesterday that speaking is one of the most valuable assets for the lives of learners, both personally and professionally, right? So what does this mean? This means that this is not just for the classroom, okay? This is also for outside the classroom. I mean, imagine yourself if right now you can be invited to be a guest at a certain talk show on TV. Okay, so you really have to be a good speaker so that you will be able to communicate your viewpoints very well. Okay, so that you may be able to speak and people can hear you speak. People can appreciate what you are saying. Those who agree will agree, and those who don't agree will not agree. But the main pointer here is to really be a good speaker who can communicate what they want to communicate. So this is the reason why we are doing listening and speaking in school. You get marks for that, yes, but it is not just for marks. Okay, it is not only just for marks to have you promoted to the next grade. No, it is also about developing you as an individual as you are growing up to become an active participant of our economy. So this is what speaking is about, and that really makes it something which is valuable. So it is an asset for you as a learner. It is an asset for us. So that's why we have to learn. We have to hone our speaking skills. We have to use the knowledge we know about speaking. We have to practice speaking. We have to actually speak. And they say that practice makes perfect. So when you engage in these activities, they help to make you to be a better speaker. Okay, there's a question there. Is it like public speaking? No, it is not like public speaking. Because with a panel discussion, as I'm going to tell you in the lesson, it is about a group of people sitting down on the table. There is a topic thrown on the table, and each and every person says something about that topic. So that is what a panel discussion is all about. That's why they say panel. So there is a group of people who are talking about that certain topic. So with public speaking, you usually choose your own topic, then you prepare on that topic, then you will be given time where you just tell people, or you just present your findings about the topic, or you just tell us about your topic. Okay, so yes, that is what public speaking is all about. Thank you for such a wonderful question, Maria. So remember, I also said yesterday that you should be taught or groomed to talk with ease and accuracy. So this is the reason why we have these lessons, okay? So that you can learn to talk with ease, so that you can also be, so that you can also speak with accuracy, okay? Remember, I said this goes with everybody. Whether you are an introvert, whether you are an extrovert, whether you are those shy people who don't like talking, whether you stutter or you stammer, it doesn't matter. Okay, we all need to be able to learn to talk with ease and with accuracy so that we can be understood, so that we can communicate what we want to communicate, and so that our message can be communicated out there. We can be heard, we can be understood without being misunderstood or being misinterpreted. So this is why we are doing this. And this is what school is all about, to prepare you for life out there during the time right now when you are still in the school system, and also later on in life when you are out of the basic schooling system. Okay? Right. Remember, if you have a question based on what we are doing, you are welcome to ask your questions. Our chat is open, and I will get back to you. I will get back to your question. I will address your question as soon as I receive it during the lesson. Now let's continue, get to the juice of today's lesson. So we are talking about a forum, or what we call a panel discussion. So what happens is during these discussions, we share different opinions or information from different sources about a topic that has been chosen beforehand. Okay, so there is a topic which is chosen, then we as a panel in the forum, we will share our different opinions because we will all have our own opinions which will not be the same with other people's opinions. So we'll be sharing our different opinions as well as the information that which we would have had from different sources, about that topic that which we would have chosen. Then not only that, in that topic, there will be a few key questions which will be put forward for the discussion. Okay, we will do that in the next few minutes in the lesson. So the remainder of the lesson will be us really getting the feel of a forum or a panel discussion. Okay, I hope your phones are well charged and that your fingers will be ready to type and to participate in today's lesson. So that is what the forum or a panel discussion is all about. Remember, I said it is part of listening and speaking in your syllabus. So let's talk about the speakers. Who are the speakers and what do they do? Remember, the speakers should explore a range of ideas. Okay, so when we put the topic there, okay, let us go back a bit. Remember what I said about a panel discussion, that we share different opinions or information from different sources about a topic. Okay, good. Then there are a few key questions which we put forward for our discussion. Okay, so this is what we need to remember. That is the most basic thing about forum or panel discussions. So the speakers, they explore a range of ideas. Okay, so if you are talking about a topic, look at that topic from different angles, from different aspects, and from different perspectives. Okay, so you look at it from as many perspectives as you probably can. The more you do that, the more the panel discussion becomes more interesting and more meaningful for everyone who will be participating, as well as those who will be witnessing it as it happens. I mean, you have seen that in talk shows where there is a table and there is a host on the table and a few guests. You realize that in those guests, it is guests from different disciplines. If maybe the topic is a health issue, among the guests, you will find the politician, you will find a medical doctor, you will find a student, you will find somebody who's studying medicine, you will find somebody who was a doctor, you may find perhaps a teacher, you may find someone who is in homeopathy, you may find maybe a traditional healer, you may find those people who use crystals and stuff like that. So you will realize that on the panel, there will be different people who specialize in different things. So that really helps to look at that topic from a broad of different perspectives and to explore a range of ideas. Okay. Another thing is speakers should listen to one another. Remember, speakers will be taking turns. So when speaker one speaks, everybody keeps quiet and listens to speaker one. The same thing when speaker two and all the other speakers speak. One speaker will speak at a time and we listen to whoever would be speaking. And if maybe you do not agree with what the speaker says, you keep quiet and wait for the speaker to finish speaking. Because here, You are not to interrupt other speakers, okay? Every speaker is given a chance to speak and to not be disturbed. So we do not interrupt other speakers, no interruptions at all, okay? Yes. And sometimes, if necessary, if maybe there is a scoreboard, we can concede points, okay? That for each and every speaker, then you write points. Because I remember even years ago, there was this other public speaking competition. After we did the public speaking, there was this other type of a talk. It was called an impromptu, where we were given a topic and we were given 2 or 3 minutes to think about it and to gather facts about it. Then after that 2 minutes has elapsed, each speaker will be given 3 minutes to say their viewpoints, to say their opinions about that certain topic. So that is really how it happened. So because that one, it was a competition, each and every speaker was scored. There was a scoreboard where every speaker was assessed because of their style, their mood, their register, their verbal communication, non-verbal communication, self-confidence, and things like that. Yes, another thing, as a speaker, you should make sure that you make logical links between points. That is, you make sure that your points, they go together. Your points really flow, okay? That point one, it connects well with point two, it connects well with point three, with point four. Like, think of it like a chain, okay? As long as point one doesn't connect with point two, then point three will not connect with point one. Therefore, your chain will be broken, okay? So think of it like that, that as you give out your points, those links, it is like a chain. A chain has links, and you make sure that those links of the chain, they are, so you make sure that those links of a chain, they are together, they link together, they join together, and it gives flow, and it also gives a coherence to what you are saying. And remember this one. This is the most important one. Keep to the topic. Always remember to keep to the topic. There are some of us, sometimes, you realize that the topic you're talking about, it has to do with a topic or something that which you are so much interested in. Okay, so in that case, it is very easy for you to go overboard or to off ramp, and to not keep to the topic. So please always resist that urge to not keep to the topic. Okay, it is important to keep to the topic. We see it every time in talk shows. I mean, if we were watching a talk show right now, and in the talk show they are talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, then everybody who is in the panel, they should not talk about other things, other diseases like, HIV or AIDS. They should not talk about other conditions like polio or what, if they are not really linked to our topic, which in this case of my example of the talk show is the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so remember always to keep to the topic. Do not off ramp. Do not really, do not go to the left or to the right, but keep straight. That is, you keep to the topic. So yes, another thing is, as a speaker, you should try to bring other people into the discussion. Okay, how do you do that? You try to bring people into the discussion by, okay, I said you should not interrupt while other people speak, right? But sometimes it may be necessary because you want to add something, or you want to express some opinions and some supporting reasons. All right. So remember, each speaker talks about a particular aspect of the topic. Like I said, that is how they do with talk shows. that if we talk about the COVID-19 pandemic, for example, in that talk show, there will be a politician who will be speaking about it from the political side. There will be a medical doctor who will be speaking about it from the medical side. There will be, a normal South African citizen who will be representing and speaking on the perspective and on behalf of every other South African citizen. There will be an economist who will be speaking about how the COVID-19 pandemic affects our economy. There could also be a teacher or a principal who will be talking about how it affects primary schools and high schools. There will also be a dean of a university, or a vice chancellor of a university, talking about how the pandemic influences their tertiary institutions. Okay, so this is how it is. That was just an example to illustrate to you that each speaker talks about a particular aspect of the topic. Okay, that is why it is a panel. We do not all know the same things, and we do not see the same thing in the same way. So we're going to bring our differences, our different perspectives in the topic. We're gonna bring them all together. Another example I can say is, this is like, we are talking about a house. Okay, there will be somebody who will be talking about the bedroom of the house. Somebody will talk about the bathroom. Somebody will talk about the attic, the sitting room. Somebody will talk about the kitchen. There will be somebody who will be talking about the front of the house. Somebody will talk about the back of the house. Somebody will be talking about the basement. Another one will be talking about the roof. Another one will be talking about the size of the house. So you realize that each and every one of those perspectives, we need them in the topic so that we can get a comprehensive understanding of what is going on, so that all of us can really benefit from everybody's contributions. Okay, so that is what really makes the panel discussion to be very interesting. Remember the use of conventional phrases. So this is those words that we use commonly, those words we commonly use. Okay, that all of us know and we use all the time. Remember also to use them. So there's also a chairperson or a panel leader who will help to keep order, who will manage the time to make sure that we keep to the agenda, the person who will lead the discussion, the person who will give each person a chance to speak. A chairperson will also encourage participation from everybody. And remember, another thing is the chairperson should really be neutral. Okay, the chairperson really exists there to maintain balance, that there is some neutrality, that there is some neutrality in the panel discussion. And remember also calling for proposal or votes. So you will realize that this is what was going to happen if we are doing this in a normal discussion. So we can get started with our panel discussion. So right now I am going to type. So right now I am going to type the topic that we should be having a discussion on. Okay, just a moment. So remember, we are on forum or panel discussion. So the topic that which we are going to discuss is, do we always have a choice in life? I will highlight it with yellow because yellow is a more attractive color. So there is my question that which we are going to discuss about, so that will be the topic for our forum. Do we always have a choice in life? Please use the chat. Remember to think about it from every perspective, whether it is about school, relationship with friends, with peers, with teachers, parents, like everything which really has something to do with the choice in life. Okay. There I wrote it in the chat. Do you always have a choice in life? Tell us. If you say yes, please give us the reasons why you think so. If no, also give us the reasons why you feel that way. Okay. Remember, everything happens for a reason. So please supply us with reasons of why you think we always have a choice in life, and also give us reasons why we do not always have a choice in life. So remember, you can only choose one. You either agree or disagree. Although it is not a debate, but there really is somewhere where you stand about this statement. And I want to know where you stand about this statement. And remember, when you write, remember, please do not use WhatsApp language. Write in full sentences. Use your punctuation marks, your full stop, your comma, your question mark. Okay. Remember that this is an opportunity for us to apply what we have already learned so far. Yes, because everything we have been taught, it is not just to pass time, but everything we have learned is for our learning, it is for our development, it is for our growth as people in school, and we're going to need this. These are the knowledge, the understanding, the skills we need to use right now, immediately in our immediate context of our lives, and also later on in our futures. Okay. So please remember that I will be waiting. I will be waiting. So even let me write some of. So do you always have a choice in life? Okay, there is the first one from Maria Sobral. Thank you so much, Maria. Let me read it. Maria says, for example, okay, Maria says no and yes. For example, like this lockdown, the choice is that you study, and if you don't study and play on your phone, you will fail. We all know that. Thank you, Maria. Yes, that's a very good reason to support what you are saying. That in as much as this lockdown really was not our choice, we will. I don't think any of us will have decided to really stay home this long, to not go to work, to not go to school, to not see our friends, to not be able to buy, to not be able to buy certain products that which we want, because they say they're not essential items, so we can't get them, So yeah, in as much as the lockdown really is not our choice, but we do have a choice on what to do during this lockdown period. Okay, we do have a choice. So on my side, I can say we always do have a choice, because if there is a choice to make, then it means that it is us who really gets to make that choice. Okay, so for example, now with this lockdown period, I had a choice, to just sit at home and say, okay, this is a well-deserved break. We as teachers, we work hard and things like that. But no, I have decided to really be. I have decided to really be a part of STEM Lockdown Digital School, so that I can help learners like you who have decided to still study during this time and not relax all the time, to really help you with your schoolwork, because you have decided to devote some time to your schoolwork even when you are not going to school during this time. Okay, so I believe that we always have a choice in life, although sometimes it could be hard, because and Maria continues to say that things we do not always go as we planned. You always have to have a plan A and a plan B. Thank you, Maria. Thank you so much for your contributions. So Maria is saying that we always have to have a plan A and plan B. So which really shows that we really have a choice in life, because if you have plan A, then it means you have decided to have the plan A. It also means that you have decided to have the plan B. So that means that you always have a choice in life. So is there somebody out there who is saying that we do not have a choice in life, that things are chosen for us, that maybe what you ate this morning was not your choice, perhaps your siblings or your parents made breakfast for you, you wanted to eat bread, but they made you eat oats or porridge or whatever the case may be. I don't know. Is there somebody out there who says that we do not always have a choice in life? Let us hear your views. So another interesting thing is that, okay, we said our question is, do we always have a choice in life? But then sometimes there are those times when we feel like we have no choice and then we have to act in a certain way. For example, this lockdown period, okay, we really do not have a choice that the lockdown period is here, okay? And because of that, we really have to act in a certain way, Right now, when you go outside, you have to wear a mask, you know. There are some items you cannot buy at the shop. There are some places you can't go to right now. You can't go and chill with your friends at the park. You can't go and buy some things because they are not essential. You can't buy summer clothes now because it's almost winter, like it's cold. So those are some things we may really need to look at. And another thing is that sometimes we do have a choice, but then we decide what we think is expected of us, and it can make you feel like you do not have a choice. Okay, let's say for example, you you didn't want to study today. You just wanted to take a break from doing schoolwork and studying today, but you decide, no, let me continue studying because my parents expect me to really doing that. So to you it may feel like you didn't really make that choice. Okay, so there are many examples when something like that also happens. So our question is, do we always have a choice in life? Okay. So even with this lockdown period, do we always have a choice, even in this predicament in our world, in our country right now? Okay, Maria continues to say, well, Maria Sobra, thank you so much for your participation. You are a star. It's even starting to be boring. Okay, okay, no. Maria says, for example, we lost so much time from school. It is even starting to be boring. I bet others are missing school. Yes, Maria, I do share your sentiments. I remember even with me, um, when I did my matric in the year 2010, there was the 2010 Soccer World Cup. I don't know if you remember. So because the World Cup was in June, we had to write our exams in May instead of June. So that meant for us that we had lesser time to prepare for those exams. So you really can imagine the pressure which came with that. Okay. Not only that, during the third term in the month of September, there was a national teacher strike. All the teachers in South Africa, they were striking in September 2010, and that strike lasted for the whole month. Imagine, teachers striking in September, and then on the month end of October, we have to start with our final year examinations. Okay, imagine how frustrating, how worrying that really was for us. Okay, so it really was like that, because we have lost about a month because of the World Cup, and we also lost another month because of the national teacher strike. Okay, so even in those times, we still had a choice. So my friends and I, we decided to make a study group. So we formed a study group where we will meet it. So where we would talk to the caretaker at our school and ask him for permission to use a class. So we met there almost every day to study together, and it really helped us to really do well after after the strike was over. Because yes, in in our study group, three of us there, we performed very well. We passed with distinctions, right? So it really was good. That was the choice we had to make in that time, although the World Cup was not our choice. Okay, the teacher strike, which happened a month before our final examinations, it really affected us because we had to make a decision whether we want to continue studying or not. So you can imagine the frustration which comes with that. Like, you cannot spend much time with your friends on Saturday, but lucky for us, our friends were at school. Like most of our friends were our classmates. So when we go to school, it will be like we are going to school and we are spending time as friends at the same time, you know. And even on Sundays, we are going for extra classes. We didn't have time to go to church because we are going to school. We have decided that even though we want to go to church, we have decided to go to school so that we can catch up, so that we can do well with our final year examinations. Okay, so that is the reason why we decided to make a study group. So that is my standing on this topic. So in this lesson, we are really demonstrating how forum and panel discussions work. So it is like they do with talk shows. There are different people who speak about the different sides of the topic. So with mine, I have touched about our choices in life, like, about school, about our health, about the COVID-19 pandemic. So even with yourself, you can really focus on some other aspects that which I may have left out, some aspects I may not have said anything about. Okay, so that is really what a panel discussion is about. So I have just a few minutes before the end of the lesson, so let me just take this opportunity to wrap it up. Remember, we said that speaking is one of the most valuable assets for the lives of learners, both in their personal lives and professional lives, right? So that is the reason why we are doing this. It is not for marks, it is not for pushing time, but it is because it is that important. This is the skills you are going to need, not only in the classroom, but also in your life, in your relationships with your peers, with your friends, with your parents, with everybody around you, and also in the future as you go about to fulfill your career aspirations. Remember also that it is for everybody of us that we should be able to talk with ease, we should be able to talk with accuracy, so that people who listen to us can understand and get our points. And remember, we said also a forum enables you learners to share your different opinions or information from different sources about a topic. So a forum is just that it is formal, but informally it is like you learners during your break time when you are eating your lunch there, you are all in a circle or you're all just sitting together and maybe you talk about the episode of your favorite show. Did you see what happened in that episode? This should have happened. I wish this could have happened. I wish that would happen. That is how it is really. So it's just that with a panel discussion, it is more formal and it is more civilized. We are all sitting down. There is somebody who is controlling everything, okay? And things like that. I'm reading your comments. Lesedi says, this was an awesome lesson today, sir. Thanks and keep well. Thank you so much, Lesedi. It warms my heart to really hear such wonderful comments. It really makes me sad that the lesson really has to end. Thank you so much, Lesedi. Maria Sobral says, thank you so much, sir. Today's lesson was amazing. Thank you so much, Maria. You've also been amazing. Thank you for your contributions. Lesedi says, this was the greatest lesson by far. Wow, the price already been said, eh? Thank you so much, guys. Before I leave, let me tell you what tomorrow will be about. I think we'll be turning up the heat. Tomorrow it will be about a dialogue. Remember, a dialogue forms part of writing. It's a transactional text. And in tomorrow's lesson, I will be teaching you about how to read a dialogue and also how to write a dialogue. Okay, remember to join us tomorrow. Same time, same place. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. We are going to enjoy the lesson and we are going to learn. So we are going to learn about how to write a dialogue and how to read a dialogue. And I'm going to prepare a very interesting extract which will be interesting for this lesson to help us to understand and to appreciate it. So remember, we are on social media, so please stay in touch with us. We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So from the rest of us here at STEM Lockdown Digital School, we love you. We appreciate you. We say keep well, take care. Oh, there's no homework for you today, but join us for tomorrow's lesson. It's going to be amazing. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place.